Do you have questions about change control, what it is and how it fits into a systems engineering environment? Well, change control avoids the following problem, where you go in, you change some software, change an interface, change a power supply spec, and then it breaks something else, but the other person designing this other part of the system, let's say the powertrain, doesn't know about your change, and when you finally integrate it, things don't work and people are surprised. So having good change control will help integration testing, it'll help you get your projects done a little more quickly. I've been very fortunate. I've had some good change control on these programs, but there was always a difference between the sandbox on our desktop where we'd experiment, we'd play with different things, and then the official baseline where we submitted our changes, and if they were approved by often a change control board, then they were incorporated. Recently had this experience with a requirements document. I was in charge of reviewing this requirement spec, and it was a little stale and it wasn't worded super well, but that's okay. Part of my job was to fix it up, and we got it. I had the meetings, but still it wasn't official. We had to put it through our change control board where we had some senior engineers look at it, some management, and they took a look and said, all right, well, did we take care of this? And turns out that prompted questions where we had to go back to the desk, add a few more things to make it complete, and then once we submitted it after making those changes, then it was incorporated into our program baseline, and then it became instructions for the engineers. These were the revised requirements, and they developed test plans and verification plans along with it. Now, this is very much a team play. Another benefit was people felt engaged, management wasn't blindsided, the chief engineer knew what was going on, and basically it brought people along to where this requirement spec would be well received and designed to, and people don't have the old version sitting on their desktop somewhere where they're making design decisions off of that. So change control keeps this process in check. It manages making changes so that people are aware and we're not surprising people. Because if we surprise our fellow engineers, when it comes time to integrate, it's going to be a lot harder to test and frankly a lot harder to even debug where the problem is. If you have questions on change control, I definitely recommend it. You don't want to introduce it too soon because then that constricts some engineering play. But if you're midstream in a program where you're starting the prototype or you're starting to write pre-production code, that's a good time to bring in at least change control, if not earlier, but at least by then, to where you're managing some of this chaos and risks, to where no one has any question about what is the baseline, but also there's trust and reassurance that people aren't changing it and others don't know. Comment below if you have any questions.